a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in week 4. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now this defense for the Lions, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Robert Tonyan, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. On fourth down on is the punter, Colby Wadman. And taken right at the 35. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions will take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's got room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Once again, it's Swift. And some room to maneuver. 43 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning, they got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw it the opposite.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. The 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
And here comes a return for the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On second down, Swift. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully.
And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Patterson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So, 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
They'll try the right side with Jones. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Packers at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself in an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. An 0-2 touchdown, Packers! Calvin Ridley. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Let's go now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a carry for Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Over the middle, complete. That's Peterson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. 50 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 29, Rodgers. Man open, here is Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. On play action, they'll throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's a Packers touchdown. A great effort there. 32 yards. And the Packers are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Back to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They'll look to throw again. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 39. They'll look to throw here. And Shark calls it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now back to throw. Rolling to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taking on the midfield logo. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be Lions football to start the 2nd half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. The ball comes out, and now headed the other way. They're across midfield.
And that's when friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Julian Okwara. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in their 2nd half blowout material. Packers. Romeo Doubs, 29 yards. And the Packers extend their lead yet again. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Out of the gun now on third down. And that's out to the flat for Swift. Finding room in midfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a first down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Back to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11th. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. On play action, it's Rodgers. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play.
Hey, you block over here.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Ready.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive.
They find some open field here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again. 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
And this is caught at the 20.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to have it here at their own 15.
So their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. Try to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, Rodgers. Dancing to his left. He finds his man, complete. It's Cox. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter. And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues. 2nd and 6 from the 10. To throw is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throw left side, complete. That's Fuller. Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Hey, take 26.
Rodgers gonna go on 4th down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very active.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. That one complete. He finds Shark. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you've got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Extra point by Patterson, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Rodgers throwing here. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah.
It's silly. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Green Bay, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Lions, The defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina.